Back, we're focusing on Mann Ki Baat hitting a century today, and we're joined by a special guest now, Shashi Shekhar Vempati, who's a former CEO of Prasar Bharati, and he's also written a book, Collective Spirit, Concrete Action, a book that documents Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Mann Ki Baat. We're also joined by Megha Prasad in the studio, and my first question to you, Shashi Shekhar, while we're talking about the 100th episode of Mann Ki Baat that has been completed today, what has been the reach of Mann Ki Baat till now? How many Indians has it reached till now, and what has been the impact?
The reach of Mann Ki Baat is, many-fold, as it's not just a traditional radio program. It is also a visual radio program that is telecast on several television channels. And some of the data that we've seen is that more than 120 channels on television carry this live, apart from, all the radio stations of All India Radio and several private radio stations. Apart from this, of course, Mann Ki Baat is also listened to online on streaming through YouTube, through the Narendra Modi app, as well as on smart devices like Alexa. So if you look at the cumulative reach of all of these different media and different formats, the reach of Mann Ki Baat will easily cross the figure of 100 crore that has been talked about. And it is a testimony to the popularity and the popular appeal of the subjects and the topics that the Prime Minister takes up that this reach has been achieved. Also important to remember that the reach is also because the program is broadcast in multiple languages, more than 40 languages, dialects across India, and some foreign languages as well. And so all of these put together has contributed to this phenomenal reach of Mann Ki Baat.
Now, Mr. Vempati, Megha Prasad here, sir, in your former capacity as the Prasar Bharati CEO, and also because you've written this book, I would want to understand, maybe pick your mind a little on this. I mean, what best way would you be describing Mann Ki Baat? What is it to you?
Great question. In fact, I write about this in the book as well, that if there is one word that, encompasses and describes Mann Ki Baat in its entirety, it is about positivity, right? Because when you take a democracy like India, which has, so many extremities, so much of diversity, geographic, socio-economic, so many challenges, it's very easy to, to view the glass as half empty. Because we will always have several problems, several challenges to deal with, and it'll be a continuous process, to address these challenges. But then what Mann Ki Baat has done is that it has, induced this mindset, this thinking that, the glass is half full. And we must, take a very positive approach to solving problems, solving challenges. And I think imbuing this positivity by drawing inspiration from our past, by drawing, examples, role models of individuals who are, making a difference in their own way, in different parts of India, being agents of change. So drawing positivity from all of this, I think the Prime Minister has, sustained this program over the last 9 years, sustained the various initiatives that he has, spoken about through this program. So in that sense, I would say, to me, the most important aspect of Mann Ki Baat is the positivity, that, the glass is half full, and, we must draw inspiration and keep at it, because that is the only way we're going to solve problems and challenges in this diverse, democracy of ours.
Right, and Mr. Vempati, while you've written that book, you would have, of course, gone through the past few episodes of Mann Ki Baat. So what are some of the highlights of the past few episodes that you would like to share with us? Some special stories that you came across?
Sure. I think one which struck me was this conversation with Mr. Dr. Gautam Sharma from AIIMS, who's a cardiologist. But who also interestingly, heads the integrated center there for medicine, where they're trying to integrate, Ayurveda and yoga with modern medicine practices in a whole bunch of areas, where several, papers have been published. What was interesting to me is that it is a fine example of what the Prime Minister has tried to do with Mann Ki Baat, where the past is an inspiration, the past is a source of, ideas. It is something that we draw our moral compass from. But at the same time, we don't lose sight of the modernity. We don't lose sight of modern science. And we put the past, the history, in the context of modern science to find solutions to our current problems. I think that is a very important central message of Mann Ki Baat, which I thought the conversation with Dr. Gautam Sharma very beautifully brought it out. This was, I think, December of 2022. So that is one example. Another, example is, in fact, there is a continuing theme of Mann Ki Baat is the manner in which he has spoken about space mission and, space technology and all the different launches of ISRO. And especially the one that, struck me is when, we faced a setback with the Chandrayaan. But the Prime Minister had a very important message that we must learn from our failures. It is important to experiment. We must not be afraid to fail, because that is where we learn how to get things right. So that is again another example of the positive way of looking at experimentation, the positive way of looking at technology, innovation, and giving people the hope that we must keep at it, we must keep trying, and that is how we will attain success.
Mr. Vempathy, taking this conversation back to the people at the grassroots level, which is what the Prime Minister attempts to sort of, highlight and bring to the fore these unsung heroes, praise them. So I want to understand, I'm sure you must have researched quite a lot, connecting with the Prime Minister on this platform, being spoken to by the Prime Minister, being praised by the Prime Minister. What sort of an impact do you think that brings not only for that person or his family or her family, but the people around?
Great question. In fact, what I have seen during the course of writing this book, speaking to several of these individuals and learning from their experience, is that them being featured on Mann Ki Baat has not only had an immediate impact, on their own, sphere of influence, their own area of work, which has given them prominence within their local community. But what it has also done is it has inspired others, to be like them. So they've kind of become role models, for people, with similar interests, similar aspirations, to look upon them as examples to emulate. I think that is one interesting impact. The third impact that I have seen, again, going through these various journeys and stories, is that how it has inspired behavioral change. You take the example of water conservation, take the example of cleanliness, especially Pradeep Sangwan, who the Prime Minister spoke with today on the Healing Himalayas initiative. What you see is that not only has the impact of that initiative grown in scope and its magnitude, it has also induced behavioral change where people are far more conscious about be it littering in public, being conscious about use of single-use plastics and so on. So the impact is immediate on their work as well as beyond that.
Right. So those important messages that Mann Ki Baat has tried to give ever since it started in 2014 and now it has completed 100 episodes. Thanks very much, Mr. Vempathy, for joining us. Thanks, Megha, to you as well.